Welcome in two-time Super Bowl champ, former Florida State standout Bryant McFadden, and CBS Sports HQ college football analyst Barrett Sallee here to recap Week 5. Number 1 Georgia trailed 16-6 to Missouri at halftime. Rallied in the second half to avoid a massive upset. Second straight week, Georgia gave up 22 points. Last week it was to Kent State. This week to Missouri. I know it's an SEC game, but Barrett, how do you feel about Georgia right now?
Not very good. I mean, last week you saw some offensive ineptitude, especially early on against Kent State. They were able to work through it, but you saw a lot of the same in this game. Stetson Bennett was not very crisp. Ladd McConkey had some mistakes. The offensive line was not very effective. The running game couldn't get going. Everything that could go wrong for the offense did, and it was a lot of what we saw in the first half against Kent State last week. So, look, I think Georgia, to me, it has some work to do. I thought Stetson Bennett would be able to take the next step. He hasn't found a key receiver outside. A.D. Mitchell's absence obviously was a big deal, but to me, it's very concerning. You can't ride on just your defense alone. You have to be effective on offense. Last year, it was off play action. This year, I don't know if Georgia has found its identity yet.
Yeah, and that's concerning based on how well they started the year off and what they did, especially week 1 against Oregon. What we're seeing now in the last 2 weeks, Georgia, they have played to the level of their competition. And championship teams, dominating teams, don't do that. They take care of the teams they're supposed to do, and sometimes it's easily done. We haven't seen that. It just was a sloppy game from start to finish. But one thing I can say that was a bright spot, their red zone defense was outstanding. I mean, there were a few times of Missouri, if they just scored 1 touchdown, it's safe to say this game would have probably been out of reach for Georgia. But because of their defense and how they were able to bow their back and play outstanding football and force Missouri to settle for field goals, was the ending result in them being able to come from behind and win this ball game.
Yeah, defensively, missing Dan Lanning, missing a lot of their defensive stars that went to the NFL this year, so they got to figure that out. But they survive and advance. By the way, BMAC, Georgia was minus 25,000 on the money line. I mean, can you imagine sweating that out?
25.
Minus 25,000.
Can you imagine betting that?
Somebody put a lot of money down. I think they won like $50. But they almost lost I mean, they almost lost a lot of money.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.